You see the music?
Yes, I did. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
And welcome to Live from Rabs from today inside Rabs Café.
We are inside. We are actually here after playing hooky yesterday.
Well, Nazareth, you really were a very bad influence.
People, he would like you to believe that it was me, and I'm fine with it. I'm good.
You told everybody. You.
It's okay. We won't tell the
There's
backstory.
video proof.
It's fine. It's my fault. I wanted
There's
to.
There's video proof.
I wanted to enjoy the day.
You yesterday.
Yes.
We weren't live, and we were there. Video proof. You asked to play hooky.
I did. I really did want to. I really did. And it was a wonderful
full disclosure.
Day.
It really was a group effort.
Well, we bounced back and forth about it for a while, though.
We did. Well, we went as if you play hooky, do not show your face on the podcast. I don't get what you're saying there, Brian. We have different
rules.
We have different rules.
That wasn't supposed to be up. I thought it was just me and Frankie talking to each other.
What?
What we put up yesterday.
It was Naz. It really was so nice. And we don't get to, we always say they want to take advantage of a nice day, and we had an opportunity. We pushed our guests to another day and said, you know what?
It worked out well. I got a lot done. I should have been. It would have been nice to rest, but I got a task done that has been kind of hanging over my head for a couple of years. So it was good to just work through it, just get it done. And,
I can't say I did much around the house.
Yeah, you probably did.
I did a lot of busy work yesterday.
Yeah.
I sat outside with my computer. I got a lot of things done that I needed to get done.
Yeah.
So it was nice to just chill out and do nothing. The honey-do list around the house probably could have
used a little work.
Take more days off. Real nice, Brian. Real nice. I mean, you don't have to come and watch us. If you don't want to watch us, you don't have to come and watch us.
As they say, keep scrolling.
And we'd like to think we deserved a day off too. So welcome to Life from Rabs.
You know what? Maybe we misinterpreted that. Maybe he's trying to be take more. You should take more days off.
Oh, maybe. I get both. Brian.
Sometimes knowing Brian,
it could go both ways.
Yeah,
it's good though. It's all right. Episode 69. I lost track. I think this is off a day. I think this is day 7. This could be day 77 of the quarantine. I flipped it, and when I flipped it,
I thought I'll go back on the calendar and check. I won't.
15, 30. It's 30 days. 30, 61, and 15 is day 77.
Well, they already.
I've only done the count several times where. Look at that.
There it is.
Poof.
7-7.
Double sevens. It's a good number. What? We hope you enjoyed your weekends.
Yes,
as much as we did.
Yeah,
we had a great. If you watched our little video yesterday, we talked about it. And then I want to say it again. Saturday, if you missed Saturday's show with Shannon O'Keefe,
go back and watch it.
She's awesome. She really is awesome. Yeah. She another breath of fresh air. We really had a really good week. We said it, and I'd say it over again. Ryan Mellis and
we had
Shannon alone. I mean, just put them two in a room together.
Oh.
Shannon was great. Talked college bowling, PWBA, and really, we had some other questions for her. We could have kept going, but we went long as it was. So thank you, Shannon, and thank you to all of our guests.
Yeah,
but go back and watch if you haven't, and people are watching.
It's good stuff.
So, what was on your table last night?
I told you I barbecued yesterday.
Well, I didn't know if that actually happened.
Yeah, it actually happens. Even though I will tell you, when you do yard work is strenuous stuff, moving. It was a lot, so I was pretty beat, but I was determined to not order. As tempted as I was, but I just threw some stuff on the grill, and that's what
I didn't know if Ray turned around and said, "I want pizza."
He'd eat pizza every day. He's so easy. I tell you, we make the big salad. Sometimes I put some protein in it. Sometimes We have the protein separate, but he's easy. He really is easy. Thank God. Thank God. Makes my life easy.
Barbecued last night too. Originally, it was going for the sushi, and it was just too nice not to barbecue.
Yeah.
And some fresh produce,
some misfits,
mushrooms and asparagus and potatoes, and some nice burgers, and just enjoyed it. Tonight we're ordering out. I mean,
you're gonna do your.
I can't get sushi tonight because they're closed on Mondays, so I gotta wait till tomorrow, if anything. And so glad, Dorothy, that you're watching. Brian, good question. So we're taking in all the videos and going to set up the voting. The voting period is going to start this week, so look for a post where you can vote on those that have submitted their videos for Rabs Got Talent. We've got some great talent to showcase, so be on the lookout for a post where you can vote, and you'll have a week to vote, and whoever prevails will be our winner.
We'll be our winner with this,
and we'll get a sizable trophy.
Yeah.
So today, we've been in. I mean, we've had so many different types of guests
all
on our
over
show.
the map. Me and you.
A professional
literally
bowler.
all over the map.
You're right, all over the map, from Australia to New York
right around
City,
the corner.
literally right around the corner, or inside,
or right in here.
On assignment. Now you went on assignment twice inside the building.
Yeah. First time was a little easier than the second time.
You're a little off.
Yeah.
It was good. It was good. We made Zeppelin's and pizza, and had a little camera problem. But that's all right. It was good. So today we have our friends from Williams Eyeworks. This next generation of Williams Eyeworks. You know what? Forget Chris. Nobody wants to see Chris.
These are the guys that really know what's going on. Anyway.
I mean, they're the ones that run the business these days.
Correct.
So Ryan and John Williams, both bowlers, are on the show with us today, and let's bring them in. I think they should be here ready to roll. Hey guys.
Yeah. Hi.
Hey, how you guys doing?
How are you?
Oh, look at you.
Look at him with his professional step and repeat.
I like it. So wait, Ryan, are you home and John's actually working today?
We're both like little home offices at the moment. This is a little more official.
Is the shop closed today?
Yeah.
So the shop is closed. We're closed every Monday, Sundays and Mondays normally. And then we're working on a real limited schedule right now, trying to see emergencies only and putting a lot of prep work to get back to business or, help as many people as we can. So right now we're only there 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., answering the phone and seeing emergencies on as need basis.
And by the way, I told you we like Ryan, right? See, you notice the hat he's wearing today?
Saw it. I saw it.
So this is a special Williams Eye that's hat because it also has our Williams Eyeworks 1995 on the side.
Oh, that's cool.
Like Rabs, we are on our 25th year. We were supposed to have our big party this Saturday, which is getting pushed back. So 26 is the new 25 anyway.
Yeah. Ain't that for sure. Hey, first, how are you guys? How are you guys holding up? This has been a long 77 days. I know you guys have been working on and off, but how are we holding on? John, you first there.
I mean, outside of a pandemic, I still wake up, so nothing to really complain about. It's given me the opportunity to learn a lot of new skills at the store. Like before the pandemic, when a spring hinge or something broke on a pair of eyeglasses, we typically send it out to a different lab to get it soldered, but none of those labs are picking up the phone anymore. So now I have the new skill of soldering. So if anything's falling apart, I can solder it back together for you now. And outside of work, I'm getting pretty good at the banjo. So,
oh, there you go.
The banjo
Benefits.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, that doesn't surprise me at all. So you're now putting your vendors out of work. Is that which is okay? You got to learn a new craft.
No, not putting them out of work. Adapting so I'm not so reliant on them.
I like it. Ryan, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, we keep busy at the store trying to put in a lot of different changes, make it super safe for everybody to come back. We're rearranging desks, making it so it's safer, more socially distant, putting in sinks for us to wash our hands regularly, as well as patients when they come in. We started using a new app called Eye Care Live, which anybody can download. And then I can do your acuity test, renew contact lens prescriptions and stuff like that, all from the comfort of your home. You're just sitting right there. You can log onto the app, click Williams Eye Works as the clinic, and do your exam right from home. So we're trying to adapt to the future.
That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. So talk about Eye Care Live. Eye as in
So Eye Care Live. It's EYECARELIVE. You go right on. You can download it. Then you could search by doctor or by clinic. So if you search by clinic, go Williams Eye Works. You'll find us. You can pick out what's going on. You can tell me your eye's itchy, it's red, or you're just not seeing well. You can pick what type of visit you need, and then it'll prompt you to do what you need to, whether you need to take a picture of your eye in the mirror or use your laptop to do a little acuity test, and then I'll chime in virtually, or a doctor, John, and we'll take care of everything remotely. Actually, Mike Bloomfield from Techie Geek was one of the first people we did this with. We renewed his contacts through it, and he wrote a review about it on Google, which I'll read for you. He said, "Talk about business reinventing themselves and taking some amazing steps during these tough times. Williams Eye Works has gained my business going forward. I was able to renew my contact lens prescription using their Eye Care Live app and working with a doctor remotely. Talk about amazing. The staff was highly educated and, best of all, extremely caring. A few days before my virtual appointment, I received a call, and they went through the whole process with me, made sure all my questions were answered, and went above and beyond and took every step of the way. Thank you to Williams Eye Works." And that was it. But it seems really cool. Then that's how we're going to go forward.
And somebody like Mike, you don't need to give him a reason not to leave his house and go out. So that it's perfect for him. I mean, it's good for all of us, especially now, because we have to really look at what we do. We have to look at that customer experience so different. So putting that in their hands certainly makes that easier.
Oh, it's great. Exactly. And like now the amount of time you're going to spend with everybody, you're going to disinfect everything in between. All businesses can't handle the same volume they were before. So to try and figure out a way to get it outside of the box store, it's helpful.
Yeah, and so you've been open just about the whole time, right?
Really, yeah, but not really. Like, I'm only seeing appointments, emergencies, if it was predetermined that we could. My door's locked until Mrs. Smith gets there and gives me a call or a text, says I'm here for whatever we talked about.
So, and you talked about the two of you adapting here and learning new skills, which is great. So talk a little bit about that customer experience. So tomorrow we're opening our doors, regular business. It's certainly not the experience that we had yesterday. So walk us through that. Hey, I already have an appointment. I'm showing up. I walk through the door. What am I now going to expect when I walk into Williams Eye Works?
So we we have a guest list right at the door. So like your greeter, you come in. If you're coming in, Frankie, I'm like, "Oh, Frankie, you're here for a DMV exam." If we're doing something like that, now we have a chart and a line drawn out outside our store on the pavement out front, so we can do it right from the window. You're coming right over here. If it's a repair, it's something I can do curbside. So everything has been pushed to be made by appointments, not just exams like it was in the past. So we really know what every patient's coming into. There's an allotted time and a specific area they're being brought to, so that there's little interaction with other patients. It's one-on-one with one optician. You're not being passed around, so you see how everything's being handled sanitarily. We're disinfecting glasses in between everything and trying to do it as uniform as possible.
Trying on glasses is probably is no different than people using bowling balls, right? So the house balls here are available. I got to try it. I use it for a period of time. I got to try these on. I know that experience very well because it's never one pair, right? It's sometimes 10, 20, and I'm sure there are high maintenance customers where it's almost everything on the wall.
Oh, that's me.
So yeah, just that's got to add another element to the cleaning process. So I asked them to walk through the experience of what we like when you show up, which I think is great. We're all going to be adapting to some sort of, and we say this new normal very loosely, and I don't even like saying that anymore, because I mean it's I don't want to call it a new normal.
It's just different.
It's just a different. We're just going to be.
We're adapting to new ways.
Right. Exactly that. So you guys, second generation coming into the business, and you guys have different roles in the business, which I think is awesome. You guys have, and not everybody wants to step into the family business.
Right. And legacy businesses they're a little bit of a struggle sometimes. There's a whole family dynamic. And so tell us how you and your dad came together. Is that him? Is he pulling up on his motorcycle right now?
That's a dog. Hold on.
So, John, tell us a little bit about the process that you guys have gone through to get to where you are now. And I'm sure your mom was heavily involved.
Well, just with in reference to COVID, or just getting into the family business?
Into the family business.
Into the family business. Well, from an early age, everybody started working at the store the same way. We all get to about 12 years old, ask dad for an allowance, and he gives us a broom and tells us to show up Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's never given us any money. He's always taught us to work for it. And he's been very good of instilling, and all throughout history, you learn that farmers had kids to help take care of the farm. That way their family can make a living. And my father made it very clear to me that whether I like eyeglasses or not, whether I choose to be an optician or not, right now, that's my farm. I've got to know how to take care of it so that it can take care of me so I can get where I'm going. Now, luckily, in personality, I'm very technical. I like tinkering. That lines up perfect with eyeglasses, especially with all the little screws and whatnot. So it was almost a no-brainer for me to go into the family business. And then Ryan's just got such a friendly, explosive personality. No matter where he goes, he's going to be the best salesman you can possibly get.
Yeah.
And there's definitely, I mean, with the two of them, knowing you guys and your family, I mean, there's mom and there's dad clearly in the two of them, which is awesome, which I think is why it works really well. And and of course I get, like Naz said, there are always going to be challenges in family business, which makes, I think that's part of the challenge too. I mean, that's part of, you want to overcome that.
Yeah.
And Ryan, getting into the family business for you,
brainwashed from a young age. No,
You have to take care of the farm.
Ultimately, so I went away. The only other job I really had before, other than working at the family store, was I worked at Borough Hall summers through high school and college. I thought I might go into politics early on. Then I came home, started getting involved at the store more. And what really did for me was how big of a job it is. You don't really have a job. It's kind of like a life. You're moving all around. There's different areas. If you don't want to just be a salesperson, say you can move around, make glasses. You're the marketer. You're the buyer. There's so many different facets. You don't really have a job. It changes every day, which is what I like about it. And what got me to do it.
So you have some variety. It's not like you're stuck doing one thing all the time.
Yeah, for all the challenges of being family business and everything, it's never tedious. Is what I.
John, you say Ryan's a salesman, but I don't know. I've seen you in action. I think you've got that in you too.
Yeah, but you have to admit, Ryan's just got this charisma about him that far exceeds me. I definitely think I'm good, but if you think you're good, Ryan selling next to you is a very humbling experience. You realize that you've got a lot to learn in your presentation.
So Ryan is essentially the closer.
He's the opener, the closer, the relief pitcher. He's everything.
You look terrible in those. You do not want to wear those. How about you try these?
For a while there, when I first started selling, I'd sit down, I'm brand new to selling. I'm not the best at picking out glasses and frames for people yet. Ryan walks over, whatever one he put on the table, that's what they bought. And he only did one frame every time. So Ryan's got a very good sense about people and product.
Oh, I'm gonna test Ryan then the next time I come in. Because if you can convince me on the first pair, that would be
Challenge accepted, Naz. They'll be ready and waiting.
Naz, so that is very true. The last couple of pairs that I've had, both him and his dad, both time, the last two times, one of the salesmen happened to be in the store, and hey, I'm along for the ride. You want to make this guy happy, and he's got something that works for me.
Right.
Cool. I'm all about it. But both times, the two of them, try these on. But then you're always going to look at something else because you're always going to doubt it, and
you just want to make sure.
Right. And I did it. Even the last time I was taking pictures, I'm like, no. Why am I bothering?
Right.
And those two times they were right.
Well,
it was exactly what they put in front of you.
It's weird because I watched a video on, I know this sounds really weird, why somebody would watch this, but there was a woman that really was really good at picking out eyeglasses based on the person's face and, the shape of their face and what complements their face and their hair. And it was a really interesting video because she took a lot of things into consideration. So, do you consider yourself kind of like a master of that?
Trying, but yeah, that's pretty much what you're doing. Is you're checking out somebody's complexion, picking out the right color, right shape, and fit.
Yeah, in the most basic form of it, you have two color tones, cool and warm.
Right.
Your cool tones are your blacks, your blues, your grays. That tends to go better with darker hair, paler eyes, paler skin. Then you have your warm tones, your reds, your yellows. That tends to go better with tanner skin, browner hair, browner eyes. And your face shapes, you typically want your glasses, your frame to do the exact opposite of what your face shape does. So like for me, for instance, I'm a bit of a diamond head. I've got jagged edges. My cheekbones come a little bit further out than my chin and my forehead. So I want things that are a little bit wider and nice and curved because that contradicts what my face is doing.
So while you can definitely tell who the technician is. He's definitely very technical.
So you don't tell the person you got a fat face, so try these.
No, you tell them you have nature's perfect shape, an oval. Everything will look great.
Well, it's funny that it's so true because that's your craft, right? So you have to learn, and you can't really teach that. That's really no different than when I walk into the pro shop and Ray looks at my hands and he knows that, oh, you've got sweaty. It picks up the fact that I got a sweaty palm, or
right.
Oh, look at your hand. Okay, this is
the way your thumb hinges. Or,
he could just he could hold your hand and say, "This is what you need." Right. I'm like, okay, and I look at him, and you always look at him like he's crazy. Even and Jimmy has learned. I mean, it took a long time for Jimmy to pick up on all of that, right. But it's not something. My point is, you don't really. How do you learn that? It's hands-on experience, right? So you see the product, and then you could match it up. But I think the misnomer sometimes is, oh, he's just trying to sell me the most expensive pair.
Yeah, which a lot of times you can easily show that that's not true just by comparing to any other one on the wall.
Right.
That's you do need to get the price pretty quickly in your sale. When you're talking, you know what customer wants, and really, our profession isn't based on the frame. Our profession is based on the lens. The frame. You could tell me what your style is. You could know that you like Gucci. I can see you have a Gucci bag, and that's what you like. But our profession is the lens. Really, what our job has become that sets you apart from other opticians or a Warby Parker or any eyeglass store is the lens that you're getting. So now your prescription is your prescription for how we need to make the lens. Now we make lenses digitally, so there's thousands of different lenses for every prescription, and they all do something a little different. So our job is really talk to you, get to know you a little bit more. Like, oh, you're a bowler. These new great lenses, like an ISO lens, I would recommend to somebody almost all the time. I wouldn't recommend to a bowler because it's going to bring the floor up to them a little bit, even in single vision. Where you love that on your computer, you would hate it Saturday night when you're going to your league. So our job is a lot more of getting to know you, talking to you, finding what your hobbies are, and fitting you with the right lens for your life. You come in, in our program, probably have, I don't know, 20,000 different lenses that we sell. And interpreting your prescription and giving you the right one is really what our profession is now. The frame is the fun part, that's what everybody sees, but the lens is really what sets us apart from other places.
Right. So that's what I was going to ask. I was going to, it's so popular now, all these online glass places that seem to sell so cheap that I'm sure that you're the difference maker for you is customer service, like you said.
Yeah, well, it's customer service and the lens. Like you could buy a cheap frame anywhere, and it is what it is. And I could sell you one too. I could sell you made in China, $10 frame. It is what it is. I could also put a better lens in that if you got it from somewhere else. But different anti-reflective coatings, smudge too much, get scratched easier. There's different materials that you want to put in that lens. You want a premium product. Even like right now with everything that's going on, Crizal OptiFog. It'll take me about a week to make it, but your lens will not fog up. Wearing your mask, going to the store, going anywhere, you will not get fog. You can't get from Warby Parker or wherever else. That's what you want.
That's something.
Well, and it's the experience. So, and hey, there should be an anti-fog sign on the door right now.
Yeah,
because it's a common problem.
Yeah.
Even like I have a couple masks, and all of them the same issue. And I figured out like if in a certain if you angle it in a certain way, I've seen where people are putting tape. I mean, putting a little piece of tape here, and it works. I've seen Melissa shared a new mask that actually comes down a little bit. So it doesn't fog the glasses, but that is a real thing.
Yeah.
And you don't realize. And talk the Warby Parker. I think it's a great example because I think it's somebody they created this brand. They really changed the landscape of the industry. No different than others coming into bowling and changing bowling, but they've made the at-home experience very different because they've made it very accessible. And I think that they're selling them at this price point because at first they're donating a pair for every pair bought. Like that was their hook. And then everything's under $100. But to your point, the quality is not going to be the same. I mean, the frame's the frame, but the lens really makes a difference. But how has that changed the industry? And how has it changed the way you look at your business?
So actually, we keep, everything's so circumstantial right now. We keep changing our plan a little bit, but we're changing for the future. But we keep trying to say, like, we want to be like the Warby Parker of Staten Island, provide that home service at a much higher level. I do see, like, with limiting how many people are coming in the store and stuff over the next few bits, maybe putting together like a delivery service. Like, you're going to come in, we'll pick out your frame, everything. Then I'm going to schedule Frank. Are you going to be home Wednesday between 3 and 4? You're going to have somebody come over with like a little pull-out desk from the back of their car, sit down, fit it to you right then and there, disinfect your tools, leave. Living in the Staten Island area, like that's something that I want to put in or we want to work on. Depending on what you're doing, even like that 5 frames, I could bring them to you, show you some things, but we do want to up the level of service and focus on giving back to the community and being active here as much as possible. And
you guys do that. You guys do that already and do it really well.
Yeah.
So one, I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you for all the work and I know Dad pushes and pushes and pushes, but that's something that he certainly believes in. And I agree. I mean, you have to give back to the community that you live in. And so he's instilled that in you guys. And so thank you for all that you guys do. And to hear that you want to continue that's a big piece. But I mean, you can't really turn many places and not see William's Eye works somewhere.
We'll keep it going.
Listen, that's how you keep it out there. So, but that's a great example of how this next generation proprietor is helping the family business move further, right? Because if this was still dad was working alone, I mean, he's pretty creative in his own way. I mean, there are things that I've seen him do. I mean, and come up with ideas. They're pretty cool.
You talk to plenty of people in business and even like other family businesses, and a lot of times the story is like, oh, I got to get my father or the older generation to let us use the computers and update and stuff. That's definitely not one of the issues we struggle with. He's right there, progressive, adapting regularly.
Yeah, and I was fortunate that I had that same experience.
Yeah.
And he always pushed to want to move forward next direction. Do try this, try that, and that's cool. And you could see that in you guys. And so your sister now.
Yeah, how did she escape the farm?
She didn't.
Yeah, she didn't.
She's in optometry school.
Yeah. She
She
didn't.
actually-
We really thought. Wait, hang on a second. I thought we thought she would really get to escape the farm, but it always comes back, right?
It's just the story of all the kids one-upping each other. Ryan got his license. I got my contact lens license, and Valerie just went straight to a doctor.
There she is.
How cool is that? So
That's
now
great.
they're really all working together,
Now
which
they really
could be a good thing or a bad thing.
And it'll be good in the long run.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So
the way you look at it.
when you're truly all working together, who's going to be the one that's making the deliveries? Because we know the person that's got to run out of the store more often.
100% me.
Yeah.
So what? The cool part, they each have their niche.
Yeah, I was going to ask that too. So how did you just kind of gravitate towards those niches? Like, John, you said that you're really technical. Ryan's got the personality, and I don't want to say that sister maybe has the brains, Val, but
Certainly the work ethic.
did you just kind of gravitate towards those roles, or did you kind of get some guidance from Dad?
I would say yes and no. I definitely gravitate towards being what I call the shop man, making the glasses, putting them all together. But everybody started that way because that's how Dad started. Dad, his first job was cleaning an eyeglass store. So our first job was cleaning an eyeglass store. Then his next job was making the glasses. So me and Ryan, our next jobs were making the glasses. And now the step after that was being the salesman, being the full professional optician, getting the best product for you. And that's where you really see the niche, is because Ryan, like I said, is very charismatic. So I feel he does a much better job than me in conveying the information to a patient face to face. But while I'm much more technical, so I do like doing the much more technical stuff, fitting the lenses into the frames, and the soldering and the more complicated step beveling and whatnot that makes those high wrap sunglasses and whatnot nice. It's not so much that he's better at one thing than I am, or I'm better at one thing than he is. We just, our personalities, like you said, we have our niches. I'm more technical and he's much more charismatic.
We have our roles, and you guys have totally accepted those roles.
Yeah, it's great though. It helps because a lot of times there is a struggle for I would say like a position within the business, who's going to do what, but you guys kind of hashed it out pretty smoothly, and you all have a good fit, it seems.
It definitely helps with with different struggles of family business, having your areas of even further expertise. That we have our roles and have our lanes to stay in. We cooperate, help each other out, but meet and stay in our lanes helps us to go forward and build better than if we were all kind of intersecting constantly.
So what's the one thing that like the Dad's Jiminy Cricket and always on your shoulder? What's the one thing that he's always reminding you guys of in this while you guys are working together or as you guys move forward? I'm sure he's got a lot of wisdom that he shares, but there has to be that one thing that always sticks with you guys. Chris-ism, I should say.
It's really the 4-point test, or the
4-point test from Rotary. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will build goodwill and better friendships? Is it beneficial to all concerned?
Look at you. Wow.
If it doesn't line up with those 4 thoughts, then it's worth rethinking.
It's funny that you say that, because I think that if anybody in business, whether you're a Rotarian or not, and
right,
you're involved in your community, I mean, the 4-way test says a lot.
Right. It's really a way to live your life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Run a business.
In parts of this world, there are court systems
Based on that.
that have that plaque in their courtroom, and that's how they operate their courtrooms, and that's pretty powerful for
Yeah.
a group of guys 100 years ago that said,
Yeah.
"Hey, we believe this to be true," and our fellow Rotary friends that are watching should be proud of that.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Something stuck. Something stuck.
Something stuck. I mean, and you say it, and look, it just came out of John's mouth. Like I know Rotarians that can't even do that.
Yeah.
Outside of just family business, my father is just active in the community outside of that business. He's always been a Boy Scout leader. He's always been a Rotarian, but he was heavily active at my high school with the Interact Club. So I've had that memorized since freshman year of high school, and I've taken it to heart since. Whether you want to be the George Bailey of the neighborhood or the Chris Williams, you got to follow those 4 points.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, so there's a question, and we'll ask the professionals here. So there's a doctor in the house. So I'm assuming you don't have to bring a script in. Talk a little bit about what the services that you provide. Somebody specifically asking if you provide the eye test or if they have to come in with the script.
So normally we do eye exams. We have a doctor there every day that we're open. Right now, through everything, we are only seeing emergencies. If we need to. If you're without glasses or something, we'll arrange it. But we do accept outside prescriptions from anybody. There are several ophthalmologists on the island that are great. But normally we do have a doctor on staff. We do everything: contact lens exams, eye exams. We have an OCT machine. We'll check. We know everything about the health of your eye. We do a full comprehensive exam.
So with dentists going back online soon, when do you guys think you'll be back up with a full-time doctor?
When we feel we can do it safely. We're renovating the store and doing things, not that we don't care what the governor or whoever says when we can open. We're going to do it when we see we can service everybody properly. We already put in plexiglass dividers and stuff, but our store is limited on space. Where we used to do 4 exams an hour, for it to be properly disinfected and not have buildup of everybody's germs and everything, we have to cut that down to like 1 an hour. Where we were doing 20, 25 a day, we're going to do like 8. And that's really where it becomes challenging in the changes, because even if things were to go back to what we consider normal, we can't come close to doing the volume you did. And that's what's scary and what makes things need to change. It's a huge problem with a lot of insurance companies. A lot of insurance companies were renegotiating now for different fees. I talked to plenty of other people in our field and dentists in particular. A lot of different unions and stuff, their payments for exams are like $17.
Yeah. Crazy.
When you're not doing a 10, 15-minute exam, you can't do it at that. And that's what's problematic in going back to the new world, and is gonna be our biggest challenge.
Yeah,
and many of us, listen, we're all in the same boat, right? None of our businesses were designed to be operated at half capacity,
right?
Even at 75% capacity. That our business is designed to do as much as we can with the space that we have. So now it forces you to really look at it differently. But so how do you combat that? Providing other services, other revenue streams, right? And I would imagine that's even more challenging for you guys.
I mean, the glasses side, the product side is obviously our strength. Like I was talking about that delivery system, we are becoming more robust online sales. While that's kind of challenging, that's kind of fun, anyways, that's like the creative side. So even if that is the challenge side, it's certainly not the stressful challenge. It's
every challenge brings a new opportunity. That's how that's how we've been looking at this whole situation. And so, when we get to reopen, it'll certainly be a different experience. On all sides,
absolutely.
Internally, externally. So I think we're all in that same boat together. And then for how long, right? For how long are we operating in those fashions? Which I think is going to be the struggle for majority of our fellow business owners.
Yeah, no, it's going to be hard for for a while for everybody. You know, it's
And look at and you guys are right on. I mean, in business, in a business district, you got lots of small businesses all along Victory Boulevard. And so somebody was asking about where the store is located. So talk about the location of the store, because you guys are heavily ingrained in that neighborhood.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we are the store is located at 1884 Victory Boulevard. It's Victory and Westcott, almost dead center between Jewett and Manor on Victory Boulevard. We're like catty corner from Alfonsos Bakery, right across from Shamrock Paint, Beer Garden, Staten Diner, who is open right now. Yeah.
Yeah, and that neighborhood is so different. Staten Diner, you know, I went there for the first time not so long ago. He's got a great thing going there.
Oh, he's great. I love going there.
He's got his personality alone, and it shows through the food. Have you been there?
Yes, I definitely have. We used to go there for breakfast occasionally.
And then, I mean, to be not across it. Okay, so across the street from Alfonso's, and I'm sure that smell permeates through your building on a regular basis.
Oh, it messes me up sometimes because I already woke up, I had breakfast, and then I walk into work. I'm like, well, now I'm gonna go buy 12 strudels.
I don't know if I can do it. I have a lot of willpower, but I know when you're around it. I learned this from when Liz worked at Andrew and Allen. She used to talk about going into the kitchen, and even when I would go visit, and Mike would say, "Try this," and I'd look at him, and go, "Yeah, no." You're around it all the time. You don't even want it, but I mean, you're not in the bakery, so it's a little different when you're smelling it and it's just coming through.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
So, and you guys had put on a good show here. I mean, you guys really work this well together on a regular basis? I mean, there's got to be.
Yeah.
I want to pull here. You guys, you know.
I mean, yeah. Overall, yes. But that's because we do stay to our lanes, and we all regularly look for help, like to better ourselves, to better how we work with everybody. What really actually helped me understand my lane and how to work with John in particular was the Prodi assessment from the Lions Club.
Okay.
Which was really, really cool. It was a very in-depth test you took. It took about probably an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes online. Then they had a guide or counselor review your results, tell you what your strong points were on this, and then he compared them to like my brother's score and how you guys should work together and what your lane should be.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really great. My father just signed up for the Prodi, so we're gonna see how he kind of fits in with our reports too to make it better. But like,
oh boy,
Interesting.
they create, and the cool part when you do it as a group, and I've done a bunch of these assessments with different groups of people, and when now you guys, just the two of you, so if your dad does it and everybody else in it, it's a good practice as a business. But then they map it all out, and so they map you out and literally just they show you either how far apart you are or how close you are. You can't require it for employment, but it is a good activity to do to learn about each other. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you think you're gonna learn something about Dad?
I think I'm just gonna learn what I know.
Oh, Chris, if you're watching, we love you, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, but I think that so John and I's reports were like polar opposite. So it was really easy to see where our niches were. I think my father and I are going to have a lot of overlap on it, but still, just the little tips on it, on how to stay in your lane, how to know what you can control and what you can't, and where you should. It really. That test, and I've done a lot of the tests here and there. We worked with SCORE and other things to help you, grow. But this one in particular was so informative and helped me personally a lot. I don't know. Do you feel the same way, John?
Yeah, absolutely. The Lions Pride Pro-D assessment, just even sitting down, the most beneficial thing I found is how it works is it doesn't just tell you what you're good at. It tells you what you're not good at, what you're motivated to do, and what other people perceive you to be good at. So now, like my assessment said I was very good at production. That's why I like being in the lab. I like making things. I'm good at putting them together. I'm good at getting them done efficiently. However, because of how good I am at that, a lot of people will see that I'm good at answering questions when I'm not. I'm just obsessed with finishing the product, which quite often leads me to answering the question. So I'll get frustrated when people ask me questions I don't know, because one skill will lead to shows how my skill will lead to a misconception. So because of that, it really leads not so much for me to be more aware of my shortcomings, because it was absolutely beneficial with that, but it also helps other people be aware where their view of me can show. I'm looking for the right word to say this. It can really show you how to interact with me, that what I'm doing may not necessarily be how you perceive it to be. You know, I don't necessarily know the answer to the question. I'm just good at making the product.
Right.
That's attention to detail, which in your business is very important. And you all have that quality in a different way, and have been gone through that experience. And it's funny because when you go through that experience and you sit, and I love when the others are there. So the other salesmen, the doctor, and they all start talking to each other. No, and it's like, okay, hi. Can we come to an agreement? But they all have something that complements each other,
and they have the
detail.
Right. Yeah.
The attention to detail, which you wouldn't think if somebody that's creative can just spew out the ideas. Many times don't have that quality, but it's not necessarily always true.
Right. No.
Especially in this case.
In this case.
Huh. Look at that. You learned something new about the Williams boys. Hey, 25 years from now, Williams Eyeworks. What does it look like? I mean, pipe dream, forget about what's happening in the world around us today. I mean, that pipe dream, you talked a little bit about how you're changing the business, but the industry is changing so fast. All of our industries are changing so fast in different ways. If you had a magic bowl in front of you, is there something that you see 25 years from now when you guys are still doing it, what it looks like?
So I want it to be much bigger. I want to have exam lanes. I want to have several different doctors specialized. I want to be like the place to go, not Staten Island, like the city, for all eye needs. And I do see like a robust delivery service, like we were saying, where like an optician comes, fits you, does everything, but high-end glasses, the right lenses, and several exam lanes. Like right now we work with one doctor. We have a couple that fill in here and there, but I would want a bigger building, parking lot, and I don't know, 10 doctors.
John, are you guys on the same page with that vision, or do I start seeing this little split up where everybody's got has their own thing going?
We were definitely on that page up until when was the shutdown? March. So we were absolutely on that page. If they come out with a vaccine or something that allows true normal to come back instead of this adaptive normal that we're going to have to go to, then that will be absolutely the goal again. But with the current pandemic, I would think a much more believable thing is we are still the location to go, except it's going to be much more, instead of one major center, it's going to be almost like a little corner store everywhere, just every 6 blocks with one optician or something in it for you to go in, all the expertise, and then goes back to a centralized place for it to be made. And that way we have good quality control with good social distancing practices.
I like the word he used, adaptive. Not the new normal, but it's certainly the adapted experience. And so that's so true. And I like what you guys are saying, because you're talking about the future 25 years from now, which people would argue that brick and mortar would go away. And I'm 100% the opposite. I don't believe brick and mortar goes away. I actually think it becomes more relevant as it has today. However, your online exposure certainly has to be more, but you're not going to replace your business with an online business, right?
Well, actually, the most reassuring thing about brick and mortar, at least for eyeglasses not going away at the moment, is actually Walby Parker. Walby Parker originally was just all online, and they had such a low recapture rate with their customers because they'd sell the eyeglasses, but then they would have no place to get that screw tightened or get the eyeglasses adjusted or have any of their questions on why they're having trouble with it answered. So they started opening up brick and mortar stores like crazy. They've been very successful online, but despite that success, they have still seen a need for brick and mortar.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Yeah, they've got a huge store. It's right by the Hilton in Midtown there. I think that's their flagship store. If not, this flagship store could be in Soho. They've got a couple of them that I've seen and been around. But it's cool, and it's a cool little experience. But again, I mean, it took brick and mortar to build their business.
Right.
And it's funny about their business model. The way that I remember when we talked about, you and I, Ryan talked about this a while ago. It was this $100 model. Every pair of glasses was no more than $100. So they were selling gift certificates like crazy. Mm-hmm. And then people weren't acting because one, they went through the whole experience. Maybe they got the box in the mail, but didn't either trust that experience or the exam or just, okay, I didn't like anything they sent me or I looked okay online and then had, to your point, had nowhere to go.
Right.
So, and I think that's the beauty of online business that complements brick and mortar. Not the same business, but I mean, we see it here. People go online and buy bowling balls, but that's an opportunity to make a friend and go, okay, yeah, bring it in and we'll drill it for you. I'm sure you have a decent amount of customers that maybe just buy their frames, you fill them, or have gotten burned by that experience and come in and now you make a friend. But that's also a revenue stream that you might have not realized was there. I would imagine when that first started.
Yeah, and that's that's really why we put the emphasis on our expertise being the lenses, because anybody can sell any frame. The frame's the same whether you buy from me, buy from somebody else. That's not what you came to me for or us for. But yeah, and we'll certainly service anything. We can fix anybody's frame. We'll always look to help you. And our goal is in the store to meet us so we could help you from here on out.
Yeah, make you a customer.
There's nothing like that hands-on experience, especially when you go visit them. Yeah. And like I said before, I mean, try this on, try this, but you're not just doing it yourself. I mean, prior to coming there as a kid, it's a daunting. It should be a fun experience, and you guys make it fun. But you can go play, and you look and you go, oh, what does that look like? And you just sit there for hours. Right. It's not, You want to look your best. And so when you have somebody that can look at you and go, wow, you have a fat face, you should wear these. It makes it so much easier. I'm sorry. What did you say, John? It's
you have the perfect oval, he said.
There you go. Perfect oval.
Nature's perfect shape, the oval.
Perfect shape. I love it. And so you have a lot of good messages in what you guys shared there. So of course, I think the number one message is, of course, support your small businesses. And you can't get that experience anywhere else. You can't. But if there's a message that you guys didn't come out of what you'd say, what would be the one message that you'd share about Williams Eyeworks and what you guys do?
I mean that's pretty much it. Our slogan is when you see good, we look good, and that's our goal is to give back to the community, help everybody with any visual needs they have.
When you see
good, we look good.
I like that.
I like that. Nice tagline.
I like that.
How long does your sister have left in school?
She's in her last year. She actually she just got to Kentucky today. She starts her year of externships in 2 weeks. She's working at a clinic in Kentucky, then Colorado Springs, then Tennessee, and then she'll be back.
Wow, nice rotation.
Yeah.
First place. I can't wait to see her and ask her about her experience in Kentucky.
She just got there today. She's living in like a fancy carriage house, like 5 minutes away from the clinic where she's working. Looking forward to hearing how it turned out today.
That's cool.
She's probably gonna love it.
Yeah, listen, the last time I saw her, she really was excited about this experience, and you could see, and you need that. I mean, if you're not excited about what you want to do, then it doesn't. You're not going. It's not worth doing, which is cool. So I'm glad that you guys have stuck with the family business. You guys have all found your niche, and it's cool because you don't. I said it before, and you don't always find that.
No,
as
and
much
it's
as
it's a difficult road. I mean, they make it look
and you've
easy.
been there. You've been
They
there.
make it look easy. I went through that with my father's business, and now with this business, and and I've been lucky, but yeah, family business is interesting. I'm sure you've had some interesting times.
Good term.
I'm sure, and if you didn't, and you might have broken Dad's heart if you didn't. I mean, he would be supportive no matter what,
Right.
but he might have broken his heart a little bit if you guys totally abandoned
If you left
him
the farm, yeah,
and left the farm.
Yeah.
Or he might. It might be the opposite. I don't know if I've ever really asked him this. Next time I'm going to ask him. Or would he just be relieved he doesn't have to deal with you guys on a regular basis, telling him what you want to do versus what he wants to do?
Yeah, that's funny because it's all kidding. But that she used to say, yeah, he does say sometimes. He's like, he's like, I didn't know what I was getting into when I was getting you guys all involved here.
Yeah, I could definitely
do whatever. He's like, it seemed like such a great idea 15 years ago.
Oh, that's great. Hey, we appreciate you guys taking the time with us today and being a part of this.
Great.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you. Hope to be back bowling soon.
Oh, yeah. I know the two of them bowlers and good and not bad bowlers at all.
No, not bad at all.
Ryan finally got a new ball, and that certainly helped his game. I mean, in between beer and Jello shots.
Listen, you have those are all necessities.
Hey, thanks again, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.
I'll see you tomorrow.
As always, a pleasure.
Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
You have an appointment tomorrow?
I do.
Oh,
I'm well overdue appointment.
you should have done one of those little things online.
I didn't know. He just told me about the app.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, actually, Mom and I are both going. She's got something going on with her eye,
Yeah,
which is the only reason why.
Which
is the only reason why we're really going now.
Because I have the same thing. And I did go to the eye doctor, and it said it's a stye, but I do the compresses, and it goes down, and then when I stop, it kind of comes back a little bit, but I don't know. They said if it doesn't go away, then they have to cut it. I'm just a little worried about that.
Yeah, she's got some scratching stuff happening, so she's starting to get concerned. And
because it doesn't go away.
Especially your eyes. Like, I mean, if you have a spot on you somewhere, and whatever. But I mean,
it's always there. It's always there,
which then affects everything else. I mean, you wind up with headaches. Yeah. So she was having a couple of issues. I mean, that's the only reason why we're really going at this point. We were going to push it off, and I said, "Hey, I've been like, I'm well overdue," and I get the text messages. You want to book an, and then when I call, I'm like, "Oh, that's not going to work." And they are. I have to say,
they're great. They're a great shop.
They really are.
They really run a really, really good shop.
And listen, you have to remember too. And you talk about that Warby, and I hate to just use them as an example, but they're a great example. You also get what you pay for.
Absolutely.
You could go spend $100 on a pair of glasses, and you're getting a new pair, and they're not. Listen, it's your look too, so you have to want to be comfortable in what you're wearing. And I have to say, they do take pride in that. I almost bought a pair of glasses, and Chris said to me, "No," and I just, "Why? I like them." "No, you don't." Like he goes, "No, you're going to be back. Yeah. You're going to be back." It's like,
I think he went through that with Ray too. There was a certain type of lens that Ray was looking at, and he's like, you're just too active of a lifestyle to have that kind of lens. And I think they even talked about that there. So, they run a great shop.
And refreshing for sure, because I like, again, second generation.
And I will tell you, man,
business owners getting involved.
Especially, I mean, we've been pretty lucky. We've had it seems like when it's like two sons or boys involved in their business, just there tends to be a power struggle. But listen, Chris's wife Donna is no nonsense, smart chick, and Chris is a smart guy. So they kind of and just from talking to other people in business, you learn the pitfalls of a legacy business, and that business was kind of like he kind of grew up in that business too, Chris.
Yeah.
So
found his way. He was
Yeah.
working for someone else.
Yes.
The story is great, and look where it's to 25 years later. They're still here,
Yeah.
And they're in our community, ingrained in our community.
Great member of the community too. They do so much.
And I every time I turn around, I see something else. And
yeah.
I have to say, he's always been creative. He'd turn around and go, "Hey, I'd love to throw money at something. I want to support this, but how can we do it?"
Right.
And then he's another one that'll grab you in and go, "Okay, we're doing this together. Let's go." And it's great. So thank you, John and Ryan, for joining us today.
Carrying on the Williams Iwork legacy.
And it's not, I say it, it's not easy to want to do it.
No.
So, he talks about the farm. I love that. I love that analogy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chris has told me that story.
Yeah.
That's how I know.
Yeah. He talks about it. It's not like,
100% true.
and you want to talk about keeping it real. I mean, you talk to them on a regular basis.
Yeah.
I see Ryan bowls on Saturday nights and we've been friends, and you want to keep it real, man. Yeah. You've got it.
Great family.
Yes.
Great family.
So keep on keeping on. I like the tagline. And you see good.
You see good. We look good.
And you look good too while you're at it. Because you look
exactly.
Because we know your facial structure, so we're not going to put you in
exactly. Right. You have nature's perfect shape, the oval. Nature's perfect oval.
I have to say, going there tomorrow and then to not go into Alfonso's, that's going to be tough. Yeah. Especially, I saw that post. Those Napoleon donuts. Did you see those?
You sent me a picture of them.
They look amazing.
I felt like you were trying to get me to pick them up on my way to work.
And his Napoleons are good. That's like
that's
what
we
weak
got them
pastry.
for Easter too. Yeah.
That's a weak pastry for me. So in spirit of everything else here, looks like potentially June 8th is it looks realistic for phase 1
phase
opening.
1 coming up.
Knock on wood. The governor has mentioned it several times over the last several days.
Reiterated
June
again
8th,
today.
He keeps saying though 93 days. And I don't know where 93. Now I don't know if that 93
maybe
is based
because
on,
he's extending it to the end of.
Well, no, June 8th, I believe, if my count is right, is like 83 days. I don't know if he's just adding, or is it 10 days where the first case was?
I did hear him.
Is it from the time of the first case? Because the closure would be about 80 something days.
Right.
I was a little confused, but he keeps saying June 8th. New York City. This keeps referring. So hopefully we're on the same page and we're getting ready to enter phase 1. And
I think if you didn't think you would ever get sick of hearing about COVID, you would not think of a time when I would want to hear about COVID. What we're going through right now in this country is a difficult time. So I wonder how that reflects back to like moving forward on the timeline. Yeah. And not that it's taking a backseat to everything, and and everything. I'm sure everything will still be in place, but there may be a little bit more of a urgency to get people back.
And I could even argue a hesitance. It could also go the other way around. It could also be a hesitancy, but I hope that's not. I hope you're right. I mean, urgency needs to happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more wanting people to, because I think that part of what is feeding into what's going on right now, and I believe me, it's a difficult thing to talk about, but people being pent up for so long, it has people very on edge. It's very difficult to be on social media right now, and it's difficult to be there at any time. But some of the things that are being tossed around, it's tough rhetoric to listen to.
One day at a time.
So, yep, we just got to get through one day at a time.
1 day at a time.
And you know what? Spread the love. Spread love. Love everybody.
Love, not hate.
I'm not telling you don't see color, but see the color and understand it and accept everybody. Accept everybody and love everybody. That is my message of love.
And you know what? It's June 1st. This is where celebrate Pride. I mean, you enter a time where people just want to be seen for who they are and not anything else.
That's it. Just see
acceptance, right?
See people,
I mean, that's what we stand for
and
here.
Accept them.
accept your community, and that's something that we've always believed in
love
here in our
everybody.
business. So love,
You don't have to.
love everybody. How cute you are. Love everybody.
Really, I mean,
I think you need a little sign in front of you.
we're all humans here on Earth, just trying to get through the day. Some people are nicer than others, but
That's
you know,
for
we're all
sure.
here.
Oh,
we're
that's,
all
that's
here.
for sure.
We all have to share this. We're all like a big family, and we have to try to get along.
Well said.
Scary, scary times for us.
Clip that. I'm going to post that everywhere. Hey, just to lighten it up,
A little bit, yeah.
our meme of the day is in the theme of our guests.
I have a meme for you for tomorrow. I'm going to send it.
Well, I didn't see that coming. Look at those lenses.
Those are something. Yes,
Those are beyond Coke bottle lenses, as you'd call
those
them.
are a lot.
I
I
don't
wonder if
think
those
those
are real
can't be
lenses.
real.
I hope you know.
I have to.
We should have asked the Williams brothers while they were here.
I'm going to text him and ask him, well, could this be real? This poor lady, if those are real, man, oof.
Well, there it is.
I didn't see that coming. And, you know, in honor of our 25th anniversary, we've been sharing some old photos. And so here's another one. This is from, you know what? I don't know the year, but I want to say, early 2000s. This is when my dad was honored by the Staten Island Chamber of Commerce with their Lou R. Miller Businessman Leadership Award.
Oh, okay.
Doctor, I mean, there's a good group
Yeah.
of people.
Yeah.
So check
I
that out.
recognize a couple of those people.
Yeah.
Dr. Ferrari, right?
Mhm.
From the hospital. I can't really see the picture too well.
Put your glasses on.
I
Maybe
have
you need new glasses.
Yeah, I might need those Coke lens glasses.
That's our old photo.
Yeah, that was a nice one.
Yeah.
I miss
And then
seeing your
it's
dad.
Monday. I know. His pictures are all over the place.
They are everywhere.
His name's all over the place. So we get a good friendly
It's
reminder of
Every
everything.
day.
Mrs. Magoo. I mean, that could be Mrs. Magoo in the photo.
I always felt bad for him. I felt like people were making fun of him. I'm so sensitive about people. You know, you would think that as a child, I was ridiculed every day.
I mean-
Now, I was just like everybody else. You know,
Yeah, but Nez,
sometimes you get bullied.
you were in
but
a
I was
house with
very
how many brothers?
sensitive. Very sensitive. Well, yeah, my brothers didn't really pick on me that way. They would pull my hair, and I would fight them. I learned to be a good fighter because of them, but it
I'm
was
sure that has
different.
something to
I
do
was
with
just very sensitive.
We know. You never know, Liz.
Never.
You just don't know. You never know. You just don't. You never know. You just don't know. I mean, that's a good quality. That's the Sagittarian in you. I mean, not a bad thing at all. We're all sensitive in our own way.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't
Most
sleep
people.
last night. Like, I just
this is a disturbing time,
I just-
and
I didn't sleep, and I feel like, and there's lots to be worried about, and I haven't slept well throughout this whole thing to begin with.
right.
But
It's been
last night, I
difficult.
just was like, after relaxing all day, you feel like your body should just shut down. Well,
Yeah,
my body just.
yeah. It's just
I could have
knowing,
drank more and still.
knowing the struggles of what people are going through. I mean, we know so many people who are cops that are struggling and having hard times. We know, people of color who are just heartbroken and just having a really hard time. So, it's hard when you can't feel. It's difficult. It's just a hard time. It's a hard time.
It certainly is, and that's why we say love everybody.
Love everyone and don't lose.
But first, love us.
Love us.
You can
By
like.
love, you can like us and share and subscribe. That's how you show your love.
Do. We've been at this 69 episodes. Tomorrow we celebrate number 70.
70.
Woof! And we got a fun week ahead. We're scrambling. After taking a break, after playing hooky yesterday, our guests are now scrambling. We're scrambling up our guests. So we we ruin things by doing certain things. But that's
Yeah,
okay.
we ended up being a good thing for us and maybe not such a good thing for a couple
So
other
now
people.
we're moving people around, but we're looking forward to a great week here
Yes.
on Rabs. We'll talk food and we'll talk to other business leaders. We've got some bowlers lined up. Our friend Rhino Page is going to come on the
That's
show
gonna
this
be
week.
exciting.
So stay tuned. You never know what's going to happen here on Live from Rabs, but episode 70 tomorrow, Naz.
70.
Woo! We started this on March 21st.
Do you know, if you think about it,
Over 105,000
there
views.
is a possibility of episode 100.
There is. Oh, for us there is. I mean, we're not in phase one. If we were in phase
Well,
one,
we don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen
No.
going forward. If
Well,
things are going to change. If,
episode 100 of us doing this is certainly possible. I mean, I'd love for us not to be episode 100, and I would love for it to be something else because we're open and we
Yes.
can't be
yes,
sitting here on lane 33.
correct.
Uh,
Yes,
But yeah, you're right. It's right there. I don't know how we're going to celebrate 100, but
we have to have a party.
I mean, a party.
I didn't even
that's-
think we could get along that well to be able to celebrate. I figured you would have got
Wow.
sick of me by now.
I could, Naz. We've only been doing this for how long?
I know it's been a lot.
Forget
of
about this.
Yeah.
Forget about this.
Right.
This is
true.
different.
True.
But this is no different than us sitting in the office yelling at each
I
other
know.
and doing whatever we're doing.
I know.
Like
You're
there's certain. I mean, there are conversations we wouldn't have here.
Thank God.
In public forum. They think we're crazy. You know, if Pam Silvestri thinks that we say crazy things as it is, I mean,
Oh, she
you
can
should
hear us
only
in the
hear
office.
the crazy crap we say inside the office.
Not
Depending
bad.
on who.
Just
No,
you know.
no. Some of the things we're, you know what? In some cases, it's all the things that we're thinking of.
Yeah.
We just can't say them out loud sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Not
our
stuff
elected
to
officials
share.
are the same thing. They're all saying the things that we're all saying inside their head, but they can't say it out loud, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're all in the same boat. But you know what? We're glad that we could come here together, spend some quality time, a good hour, 15, hour 20, hour and a half. We sat here with Figgy for almost 2 hours.
Well, he was an exceptional guest. We've had all exceptional guests,
We really have.
but I mean, you know, he was a rare guest that we had some rare insight from him. So
Professional athletes. And
Yeah.
professional athletes, not just bowlers.
yeah, I mean,
Baseball
you know what?
players, Naz.
I'm gonna start flipping through. We're gonna boost something this week.
You know, I have to say, is the baseball season like looking bleak?
I don't know. Supposedly,
Because all of a sudden it's like,
supposedly the baseball players have now come up with their plan, which I did not listen to the report, so I don't know what it was. But obviously, there's an issue. The baseball players, they want the scuttle.
they want the scuttles of clams.
They want it, and they don't really want to. They're not really bending a lot.
Well, they're bending.
And,
I mean, they're bending. They're exercising, I hope.
well, they're not, but they're not backing down
No.
on any of these pay cuts. So I don't know. It would be sad, and it really doesn't make them look all that hot.
No.
Understandably, they are earning a living, but to understand that, you're playing a game to earn that living, and it's entertainment. So
Oh, yeah, of
you're
course.
lucky to be in that field. So take a little pay cut this year, maybe next year, and I'm sure you'll have time to make it.
You know, I said this to someone the other day. Humility goes a long way, right? And the easy thing about these baseball professional athletes, everybody looks at the dollar amount that they make, and you have to really take that out of the equation.
It's difficult.
It's completely
Right.
relative to
Right.
somebody in that position. Am I saying that making? Do I think
Correct.
that some of it
It
is too
seems
much?
like a lot for them, but to us, it would be
For
like
us, it's-
somebody judging our salary.
Right. And so I take the numbers out of it. It's the concept of
Don't you want to
Why?
play? This is what I don't understand.
that's what my right.
Don't you want to play? Yeah. I mean, so your option this year is to play for less or to not play at all.
And then not.
I don't know.
And here, and so now you talk about that. You don't play. What about your endorsements? Because now I'm sure that's probably part of the conversation. Maybe they're not getting all of their endorsements because there's no visibility. They're not out there on the field, so that they can't go out and talk about a product.
Yeah.
They can't showcase a logo. I mean, that's a big product placement is a big deal.
Yeah,
And so you talk about what everybody's losing in these. So yeah, it really is a shame. So for 100th show, either a parking lot party filled with Jello shots. I don't know. They make more money on a pitch or a hit than a lot of people make. And I mean, yes,
Right.
when
But
you
still.
take it and average it out, Brian, and you took baseball with Brian, and I mean, it's a good conversation.
Right.
And yeah, I don't know if you have a filter, Brian, but I didn't. None of us said you had a filter. I mean, neither do us at times. But no, it's true. But again, I take the numbers out of it. Take the numbers out of it, and just look at it. And they come on, let's. Yeah. And if you're truly worried about your health, and that's a real concern, then let's have that conversation.
That hasn't been brought up.
Well, that's my right. That's my point.
At least that I know from the players. I haven't heard that.
Yeah, I think it's
the sticking point.
I think it's in the bucket. I mean, it's one of those little.
I think the sticking point has been the money. But listen,
hey,
maybe we'll have Figgy on again. Maybe I'll ask him to come back and talk to us a little about this.
Fan favorite for our 100th show. I mean, we could just start bringing in people for 10 seconds just to pop in and say hello. You never know. You never know. I don't know. We're gonna have to plan it out, but we have to get to 70 first, 75, 80, then 100. I mean, but at the rate we're going, if we're still in phase 4 by the time that happens, we'll still be here. I hope that we're pushing for phase 3 throughout the state. Bowling proprietors are talking.
Yeah,
we'll see how those we're getting together again this week on a conference call to see how progress was made with phone calls. Our elected officials listened, but
whether their hands are tied or whether there's any leeway in any of that. I mean, they opened the dentists early. I'm not comparing bowling to being
but just in general, yeah.
But there does maybe seem to be, maybe some understanding, and I don't know. You hope that. You just hope it happens rather quickly.
That's a good point. We didn't talk. We were just talking about the players, but I mean the way that the baseball, the umpires. I mean I don't know if I'm assuming their union has put out a statement. I mean they're pretty strong.
I haven't heard anything about that.
But I haven't. I should go and I'd hate to talk about it, and we haven't read about it. But that's interesting.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's true though, because it's not just the players; it's everything that goes around. But the players right now are the ones that are, because they went back to the players with a proposal. Right. They're the ones that were driving the conversation.
Yeah, they're driving the conversation.
I don't know if the umpires are strong enough to drive the conversation, but I believe that they're strong enough to have a voice.
To have some say.
So anyway, I mean, we could all. I mean, we're all umpires anyway. We talked about that the other day. We're the umpires.
Just take some people out of the stands and let them umpire.
Or the guys that are sitting home on their couch. Are you kidding me? Oh, he was out. He was out. He was safe. I have to say, I love baseball. I love the game of baseball. I love baseball season, especially here when we're bowling on a Tuesday night, and we go back and forth between a Met game and a Yankee game. Because we try to please everybody. It doesn't help that Otto really doesn't care.
Yeah, he doesn't. And then Kevin is a Yankee fan.
And then we have a lot of Yankee fans, and we have a lot of Met fans, and then they're all yelling. And then internally, he was safe. No, he was out, you idiot. No, he was safe.
But you know what? That's part of the sharing of the experience. When we can't be at the game, we can all be here sharing that. I will tell you, some of the best games I've watched were games that we were here bowling on Monday night in the draft league, or when it was on Wednesday night. And it's kind of like a shared experience. And, again, that's something that we miss, that camaraderie among people,
sports brings people together.
And even talking about it.
So we moved the scratch league to Mondays. Now, I thought that was going to be like the football thing was going to be the issue. Like people now, it is even. I remember on Wednesday nights when baseball was on, World Series time, we'd have a great game and everybody's stopping because they're looking at the TVs. I mean, we're bowling at 11 o'clock at night and we're looking at the TVs or whatever time before the game ends, or a long game, and they're all yelling. Now the Pro Shop TV's got the Met game on, and then these have the Yankee games on, or vice versa, or whatever it might be, and they're yelling at TVs, but everybody's stopping bowling. Same thing. It's not as prevalent with football, but it does happen on some of those Monday night big games at the end of the game, all of a sudden, and then you hear, yay!
Well,
but it's exciting. It makes
the timing is
Wednesday
something
nights
too.
was definitely the baseball thing. I think we have more baseball fans overall.
But also with the football on Monday, the game starts so late that we're almost done bowling by the time the game starts.
Right.
So, or at least at the beginning of the game, it's not, it's not as contentious as
that's
towards
true.
the end. So
Yeah, because the end of the game, that's when we were at the end of the game, and we're all.
that's when everybody
Put the game up on the screen. No, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch it. Put it up back
right.
there.
Put it on your screen. That way I can't say. I can't
No,
tell you scores
some
up.
of those games. I mean, I'm standing just watching. Anyway, we need our sports back. And so bowling, I think it's Saturday on Fox. Strikeout, is that what they're calling it? See, now I got my facts wrong.
Oh.
But
I don't.
I believe it's
remember.
Saturday
Somebody
on
will
Fox.
probably
Tomorrow
tell
I'll
us.
follow back up.
You
with
know
that.
what I didn't see today?
It's Kevin or Kenny. We've got a couple of regulars that maybe they're working. Maybe they're back to work. Unlike us two hacks, we're not working. So although before we go, we want to assure you that Naz is working very hard on getting prize checks out. Our hands are, it's going to start crippling from signing and stuffing envelopes, but prize checks are on their way out. And so be on the lookout for your prize checks soon. Finalizing with league officers, getting that, and then lumping. We're doing all of them at one time versus having a little stagger. So we're getting there. So for our bowlers out there looking for your prize checks, they're coming. Anyway, hey, we took up enough of your time and hours today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We're here every day until further notice. 2 p.m. right here on Facebook and YouTube. For those that are watching that don't have a Facebook, they could watch it on the YouTube.
Yeah, they can watch it on the YouTube.
The boob tube?
The YouTube.
Oh, YouTube.
You.
Well, we kept it real. The Williams brothers kept it real.
They are real. They are real. That was awesome.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.